Welcome to the 4 Mile Circus podcast. My name is Sean Mannion. I am half of 4 Mile Circus. We are a media services company in Brooklyn, New York. Today on the podcast is part 2 with late Cambrian, John Wlaysewski and Olive Hui. I think the second half, I forget her name, but the second half of 4 Mile Circus, the other, my business partner,
Sheila,
my business partner Sheila, I think she's got a tip for us before we get into the second half of our interview. What do you think? What do you think the tip is?
I don't know. I don't have the Google Doc.
Have you met Sheila?
Just the tip.
That's
what Levi was doing.
Was he doing that?
He was doing that.
And the thing is, I was
grader.
thinking it like ever since we started this show. It was like this like compulsive thought that I kept like not saying, and then Levi said it, and it was like the floodgates opened.
Yeah.
And, it's good. We can all admit it. We can all relax.
Broke the seal on that one.
Just the tip.
But do you have one?
Yeah, I have a production tip.
Oh, production tip.
The
That's
visuals
good.
in my head right now are not good. The production tip is listen to people around you when you're in production, whether on a film or an album or whatever your project may be. There's often an idea that, the director or whomever is in charge of whatever endeavor, that was a lot of rhyming, is some kind of like auteur who, has the creative vision and handles everything and knows how everything should be done. And that's usually a pile of bullshit. And you have people around you for a reason, which is that you need them to do your job. And you should probably have the respect to listen to their input on things. Feedback is essential to the success of a project. So if people tell you like what they or their department needs, you should take that seriously. I don't mean you need everybody's input on your creative vision. They're like, yeah, but what if you made that guy 10 years younger and a lizard and he flies? Like, maybe that's a great suggestion, but probably not. And
That's obviously a great suggestion.
well, it's for you then. It's a gift.
I'm taking that.
That's what meme's going to be now? The protagonist is going to be
the
a
next
flying
project.
lizard? You're
The
going to
next
tell Sarah?
project.
Sure, she'll
Sarah is already a flying wizard.
Lizard with an L. Lizard, not wizard. We're talking about two totally different movies here.
I don't understand the difference.
Fair point. Is there one? Our listeners can write in on social media if they want and tell us their opinions on lizards and wizards and
First
the
letter.
difference.
So are you saying that because people don't listen? From your experience? Why is that a tip?
Because people don't listen a lot of the time, and we're not going to go into specifics about that.
So you have trouble.
Is that for sure?
You're talking about the auteurs then. You're talking about the director specifically, more so than other members of the cast.
Could be the producer.
Gotcha. Yeah.
The people in charge.
Producers should just stay out of it.
Or they could do their job, for example. That's
Come
a thing
in
they
with the
could do.
Coke, stand there with the suit. It looks great, guys. It looks great.
Write the check.
Yeah.
Write the check.
But sometimes people who are in charge of, figuring out how resources get allocated have an idea of how resources should be allocated that doesn't jibe with what the people actually doing the things need to do the things. And so if people are giving you feedback like, this is going to take more time, this is going to cost more, we need more people to, build this thing, this is not safe, someone's going to die, look at that person hanging off a cliff over there, we need a person, we need a PA to go help them, for example. Like, listen to those people. Because even if you're in a position of authority, you may not know everything. You may not know everything about what the people you have entrusted to bring your vision to life need to bring it to life. So if you hired somebody, hopefully it's because they're a good person for the job and they know how to do their fucking job. And you can't give people everything they want. That's not the point. You obviously need to learn to separate the wheat from the chaff or whatever in terms of feedback and opinions. And if somebody's like, but we need the Alexa to shoot this on, like we were talking about a minute ago. Like if the DP's like, I need an Alexa. Does the DP really need an Alexa or does the DP want an Alexa?
Right.
That's different than if the DP's like, but I need more lenses than this because I'm not going to be able to get the shots that you want, with
I feel like this is more true for film.
Could be.
Yeah.
On a film set because everybody has a job.
Also,
Yeah.
this seems very personal for you. Like, Like, I'm not trying to cause trouble here.
No, I'm working some stuff out.
Yeah.
Working some stuff out.
I mean, that's why we start a podcast, right? To work out our own problems on here. I'm going to cry a lot about stuff later.
Yeah. Yeah, but
that is true, actually, because I'm a music producer, and my job is to take, like, just a piano and a vocal and then build the whole thing around it. Mm-hmm. Or bring in the musicians and pay them and do that whole thing. Mm-hmm. So it almost sounds like, in your situation, the producer is also the guy with the money bag who has the purse strings. And then you're like, I need more people here.
That's
and that guy's like, we can't afford
different
that. Or
with film and music a little bit.
Because I get paid to be the producer. The producer in film is paying, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little different.
It depends. Sometimes the producer is getting paid and they're fulfilling that role.
Oh, interesting.
In kind of depends on what kind of producer they are.
Yeah, there's all different kinds of producers, but this stuff goes for directors as well. You know,
I think most often, especially for independent videos, films, whatever, I think the director it's important for them because they're often also acting as their own producer.
The AD as well, in terms of like
it's
the
like,
AD keeping the schedule moving. Because I've been in situations where there was an AD who was keeping the schedule moving in a way that wasn't realistic, so things happened like we didn't get shots that were necessary for editing together a coherent film because the AD was like not interfacing with the other.
Right, he wasn't asking the people what they needed.
No, he was just like, I have made a schedule and we have this much time for this shot and this much time for this shot, and that is what we are going to do. I have gotten no input into this. You know, the DP is saying, this doesn't make any sense. You know, you gave me 20 minutes for this thing that, like, you know, we didn't need that long for, and then for this crucial shot, we have no time, and now our movie isn't working, and the AD is just in their own, like, no, but my schedule. And you're like, but your schedule makes no fucking sense.
Right.
And has nothing to do with facilitating the director's vision, which is what your whole job is.
Yeah.
So that's my tip. Just the tip.
I mean, that's not a good AD.
No, that's not a good AD.
Obviously.
No.
That person shouldn't have that job.
That's you have no argument from me.
When you argue, when you're interviewing ADs, if the person's like, I'm kind of a type A person, I'll be like, later.
No.
People think that's what they need in an AD,
oh, no.
and it's not.
No.
You need somebody that can get everybody to work together. And keep things moving, but keep things moving at the pace that they need to move.
Well, relax until you don't need to relax.
Yeah.
Don't be like that all the time.
Yeah.
Things are moving along, or if everyone's like stops, it's like chop chop and then walk away. Not like because technically it's 2:22 and at 3:30 we have to pack up this whole thing. And
exactly.
That's a little crazy. Yeah. That's too much.
Yeah. This tip actually came from a list of tips. We have a bunch of tips in a Google Drive.
Is this like the listicle of testicles?
It's a listicle of testicles. But this is a tip that you wrote, actually. So I'm wondering if you have any.
Oh, okay. So it is a tip that I wrote, isn't it?
It was just on a list, and I was like, listen
it was
to
my
people.
suggestion. It's listen to people, and I mean, from my own experiences as being a director for the most part, and a producer producing my own film projects, or producing Maybe Sunshine, for example, which John and Olive appear in as the antagonists of Lisa and Levi, or Lisa, who was a previous podcast guest.
Who do you think was at fault?
In
Maybe Sunshine.
In Maybe Sunshine?
Also them.
Them.
Right?
I think that's what's funny about it.
That's what's funny.
That's what's funny, in the writing of
Thursday.
It. Is that is that the whole joke is that Lisa's kind of in the wrong, and realizes it always partway through everything. She's like, oh,
and then goes into existential despair.
And that's one of the things I loved about it when I read it when I met them. Was she's kind of the bad guy in the whole show, but not on purpose, just out of. But my experience in doing those has always been that when I thought that, I mean, I haven't usually had that attitude of well, I'm doing the thing and so I'm right and it's my thing and whatever and everybody should shut up. But that I know that, for example, I was talking in between recording here about I'm not a good shooter. I'm not a good camera guy. So I want to work with people who are good and who know the thing. Yeah. And I want to say, I want to get this shot. And I say to the DP, what do you think? Can we get that? Will that be good? And they'll either say, yeah, I can do that. Or they'll say, this would be better. And I'm like, cool. That's what you're here for. Yeah. Is to make it look good. Mm-hmm. That's what the actors are there for. They're there to be good on camera. So I'm so oftentimes I'll have something scripted and I'll have like an idea of blocking and stuff, and we'll work it through. And the actors say, this is really awkward for me to do it this way. This is just not. And I've seen in other situations, sometimes when I've been a PA, which I don't do as much anymore, a director or somebody say, well, you just do it anyway. Just do it anyway for this reason. And sometimes there's a reason for that, but oftentimes it was just, well, that's what it was written. And usually I'm just like, well, if it's awkward for you to do it, it looks awkward on camera, then it's bad. So let's not do that. What's going to work? And then working with people and listening to what they have to say. Or somebody saying it's really awkward for me to phrase this line this way. Can I say it this way instead? And I say, well, let's do it both ways. And usually they're right. Or at least if they're not right, they at least get to be heard, which makes them feel more like a part of the team because they are a part of the team. And it's just a good. Even if you don't do what people suggest, listening to people, I find is a useful way to just have a good work environment.
You kind of have to be open to what the universe has to offer.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it doesn't have to offer that one thing you really wanted it to be.
You have to be flexible.
I know you want to see it. Yeah. Like, as a musician, it's like you want to see, like, I want to hear that. Can we just hear this before you say no to it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you're filming and you've got a budget and you have time, that's not the best approach. Like, can we just see this? Then you're wasting everyone's time to see it, and then you're looking at the daily and go, no, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, so if someone, you're right, just roll with it.
A budget and time is actually a great thing. Otherwise, it will go on forever.
Yeah.
So within the budget and time, how many options you have? Options are always good. Don't spend your time on set like negotiating. Or just have them, and later on, it will be the director and the editor's choices.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're David Fincher and you've got unlimited money and you can make Ben Affleck say the same line 300 times for Gone Girl.
Oh, God.
Which he does. He does it for every actor. Yeah. Actually, the movie Zodiac, which is probably my favorite Fincher film, he had Jake Gyllenhaal throw a notebook on the table 64 times. And it was just him going like this. And it just didn't land right. And he kept doing it. But that's like unlimited budget and proven director and a guy who everyone knows when they sign up what they're signing up for.
Yeah, that is true.
But if it's freaking Rush Hour 3 and it's Brett Ratner, that guy should take suggestions because he fails in almost everything he does. So it, you're right.
Yeah, it's a mix.
Well, because film is collaborative, and you're I mean, you can come from like the Alfred Hitchcock school of thought where actors are just puppets and you're the puppet master, but like that's not how I think about it. I think about it as something I'm working with the actor. I'm not just telling them what to do and they do exactly what I'm imagining in my head, because you can never have exactly what you imagine in your head on screen. That's not how it works out, and you're going to get a better product in the end if you. Yeah,
Kubrick and Hitchcock did that. But that's a different.
That's a whole different era.
Style.
It's a whole different era.
Yeah, and also you're they're two of the greatest film directors of all time.
Yeah.
And I mean, so am I, obviously, but
I mean, obviously.
Obviously. So
people can find out by watching Small Talk.
I wanted to. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But enough about film. Let's talk about music.
Cool.
You guys are musicians. So making an album, that's easy, right? That doesn't cost any money. Like that just happens, right? You just show up and you play a guitar. Is that right?
It's a miracle. Money grows on trees. You play the guitar loud enough and it falls.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So how do you guys put together an album? Like it costs. Right?
Yeah. A lot of albums fall apart in the studio. It's like the time when people find out that they hate each other, and you go in to record, and the next thing you know, the bass player quits and that kind of stuff. But we recorded ourselves, so.
Okay. How do you guys, like, what kind of setup do you have for that?
Logic Pro X.
Okay.
On a laptop, and then go into the into the practice studio, and you need like SM57 mics for the guitar, and then like a really good condenser mic for the vocals, and all that kind of boring stuff. But if you can put together a system where you can make a really good sounding record.
Okay.
For a couple of thousand, maybe less.
Okay.
The only thing we recorded outside is like live drums, if you need.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not really set up for live drums per se, or I'm just not good enough to mix them if I do them myself.
Okay.
So we did pay to go into a studio that had a drum set where they scientifically mic it so it bounces correctly and no phase cancels and all that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
Music is becoming something that you can do more and more yourself. Even more so than film. Like Tracy Bonham's record that I'm producing, 90% of it is done at our apartment.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah. And we're going to record we're gonna record a live, like a piano, because I don't have a grand piano, and live drums like next week. But that's it. We haven't gone to the studio yet. It's all her place, my place, and whoever else sends in vocals. Like the singer from Belly sang on a song, and the singer from New Pornographer sang on a song. So they're just, one's in Canada and one's in Boston. So we sent them tracks with a click track, and they sang to it and sent back the tracks, and I mixed them. It's collaborative, like you said. And actually, it's funny because I sit down with Tracy and listen to the vocals that are sent, and she's like, "That's not how it goes," and I'm like, "Well, that's how it goes now." I can't go back to Tanya Donnelly from Belly and be like, "Can you re-sing that line?" Because she wants it to be a C sharp and it's a C. You have to kind of let it. If you're gonna get these guests to come on and do something for free, or not, you still have to let them do their voice, because maybe, like you said, that note's uncomfortable for them, and it's gonna sound worse even though it's the right note. So
how do you guys fund the albums you're doing, or this Tracy Bonham project that you got going on?
Golden Time, which we brought a couple.
Yeah,
you guys
brought a couple. I think we should give some of these
and
away.
The new Tracy album are both on Pledge Music.
Pledge Music.
Yeah.
Which is a cool platform that's kind of like in between crowdfunding and just like pre-orders.
Exactly.
Basically.
You're right.
Yeah.
Because there are a bunch of bands on there that aren't recording new material but still put it up to be pre-ordered. Like The Damned have a live album coming out. That's like earlier stuff. And Weird Al Yankovic is putting out a box set of his entire catalog.
On Pledge Music he's doing?
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta go.
It comes in a hollowed out accordion. It's a hollowed out accordion with all the records.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, Pledge Music's my favorite of all the ones, because they really work with you too.
Okay.
That's why we chose them over like Indiegogo or Kickstarter. Because there's like
or
a campaign.
GoFundMe.
Yeah. They have a campaign manager that works with artists, musicians.
Okay.
Yeah, they assign someone to you, and then they help you build the page out, and so it's like they're taking a percentage, like all these companies do.
Probably
but they're
a little
actually
higher than the other platform,
slightly
but
higher,
it's worth it.
But they're earning it.
But they're earning it.
Yeah.
If you don't mind my asking, what's the percentage?
Maybe 15.
Okay, so yeah, that's higher than like Indiegogo, which is.
Is it like 12 or something?
Indiegogo's like 8. Something.
Yeah, it's like 8.
Well, Indiegogo should be 8 because they pretty much, you just do it.
Yeah.
And you get it.
And you get it even if you don't reach the goal.
Yeah.
And it's like a totally different thing. With Pledge Music, you have to reach the goal, you get nothing.
Okay.
And that's why, and they also, the thing I like about Pledge Music is they keep the goal private.
Okay.
You only see a percentage.
Interesting.
So it'll say 97%, and you're like,
you
oh, I gotta get there.
You want to make it 100.
Because guess what? If I
Right.
saw that someone made $60,000, but they needed 65, I'd be like, I'd already be annoyed that they had so much money. But when you see that goal could be 2,000, it could be 10,000, could be whatever.
Interesting.
So it kind of like makes people not feel weird about the goal amount.
Huh. That's interesting.
Whereas Kickstarter, you see the goal.
Yeah.
It'll be like, here's $15,000 for my, cat embroidery. And then you're like, why do you need that much? And then you start judging the whole project, and the next thing you know, you're not getting involved.
Yeah.
So
or sometimes they're doing a project and they're looking for a really low amount of money, and I'm like, how are you gonna make your album or
they
your
just want money.
thing?
At that point.
Yeah.
It's like that money's not gonna.
How are you gonna make your movie with $3,000?
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, why should they give you for your $3,000 budget? Because your movie's not going to be very good if that's all.
Exactly.
I mean, I say this having done a Kickstarter for a short film that was about $3,000.
The other thing that's good, about being able to change, if you have just a percentage up, and people start getting close to the goal, and you're at 99%, you can just raise that amount.
Oh.
We're almost there. Oh, it's getting close. Oh, 99%. Keep going. No one knows. Or you're close to the goal, but you're not going to make it. Just lower it below that. You made it.
Really?
And no one will ever know.
You can adjust it.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Amazing. I didn't know that.
So they're
Within reason.
Within reason.
You're like, well, we've only brought in $12, so we're just gonna revise our goal down to 10, and we're good.
Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting. They have a whole psychology about it. Once you reach your goal, less people start to pledge.
Absolutely.
So they try to keep you below the goal by like 97%. Once you get into the 90s, people get excited.
Yeah.
Even because because Pledge Music has like Blondie, it has like all these big artists are doing it, and so there's a lot coming in. But if you keep it at like this like level, people like go crazy.
Okay.
And you also know people up there, they all appreciate music. So it's like very focused
And they own Noise Trade. So Noise Trade, which is a it's a place where people have their email there and they're signed up, and there's like free albums available from all these big artists. But they're like it's like live stuff and bootlegs and like B-sides, and they can just donate $1 or nothing and get it for free. Mm-hmm. So if you like work out an agreement with them, and you have a pledge music going and you have like a few tracks laying around, you can put together an EP, and they'll put it on Noise Trade, and you collect all the emails from people who donated plus the money, and then you can send those people emails about the pledge music campaign about new music. So it's like they kind of feed each other.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah,
that's smart.
It's very very smart.
And when
so pledge is where I like to go.
Let's produce records. And we can use pledge music.
We can do that. We are media services. There's a reason.
Why aren't you producing records? You guys like music, right?
I like your music. No,
yeah.
But you know, like just music as a concept, you guys.
Yeah,
it's all right. You love music. So,
the joke I keep telling like 24-year-olds I'm working with on set though is I stopped listening after Use Your Illusion 2.
That's not really a joke though.
What?
It's not really a joke though.
It's sort of a joke. These guys came out after Use Your Illusion 2.
Mm-hmm.
Do you don't listen to like Radiohead or anything? Or?
Not really.
Okay.
Like it's not like
The Strokes.
I know I've listened to The Strokes, yes, but
I'm just trying to find a band after Use Your Illusion.
Yeah, I listen to Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie's solo work, or at least some of those. So I totally have, but it's just it's like an easy cutoff for me for younger people to go like, oh, okay. Who is that?
We have nothing in common.
Yeah.
I don't know how to talk to you.
It's just my easy way of like going like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm really sorry.
People really like Paul McCartney's cover of Live and Let Die by Guns N' Roses. You know, there are people who have no idea what's going on. Like, Live and Let Die is on Use Your Illusion 2.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's a
people were tweeting about Paul McCartney's cover of it.
Oh, really? Oh, God.
Or like when Rihanna, Kanye West, and Paul McCartney did that song 4 or 5 seconds, and they were like, "Who's this Paul McCartney dude? He's gonna have a career. His career is gonna skyrocket being with Kanye." Like all these people were like so excited for Paul McCartney. So funny.
It's kind of funny.
I did get annoyed at people on social media about that though when that comes up, when like 15-year-olds are like, who's this Paul McCartney? He seems great. And it's like
he seems great. I love it.
And old people are like how do they not know the Beatles? Maybe the Beatles just aren't relevant for 15-year-olds anymore. Like,
would they be relevant for someone who was born in 2002?
Yeah.
Of course not. How would they be? Unless they discovered them in college. They're not in college yet.
Exactly.
College is where the big posters, the big furry posters show up.
It all depends on their parents.
Yeah,
that's true.
You don't understand, though. Baby boomers are the center of the universe, and whatever the baby boomers thought was the greatest thing is the universal greatest thing for everybody.
And it's totally not.
I listened to the Beatles a ton as a kid. Like,
same.
Great. But also, their first, like, American tour was a half of a century ago.
Yeah. And they stopped making music a half a century.
Exactly. Yeah. It's been almost half a century since
1969.
Yeah, 1969. It's 2017. Like,
there's a lot of
next year, I think Sgt. Pepper is 50 years old. Mm-hmm. It's a great album, but it's also half a century old.
How can you not know who Beethoven is?
Exactly. So, but
who knows everything?
Yeah. Let kids be like
kids.
Use it and be stupid.
Music is to bridge a cultural divide, so people get offended when you don't want to meet them at that station. The Beatles is where I am. Well, I'm over here at Kanye. Well, fuck you then, because you don't like what I like. But it's like, you don't have to like the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
There were people around during the Beatles who hated the Beatles. I'm sure. They were like, who are these mop top buttheads? You know?
I think that's a good point, though, is you know, you don't have to, not everything has to be for you. It's a thing that I keep having to remind myself about everything. It's like, I don't like that, but that doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Bad for you, maybe.
Yeah, it's like, it's not something that I'm into, so whatever, that's fine. But so you used pledge music to fund a couple of your albums, is that right? Is it including Golden Time here? And this new project with Tracy Bonham.
Yeah, that was and it was super successful.
Yeah.
Actually, the Golden Time one, we made enough money that we were able to tour for a month in the UK.
That was going to be
put out a CD.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Is like, how do you guys cover tours? Does it also?
I mean, that was like touring is like hemorrhaging money out of your ass every day. That's what it is. So you have to have like a really good merch setup.
Okay.
And you've got to be able to like,
Yeah.
that's a lot of gas and food and
But it all
hotels.
starts with like what you want to do first. A lot of people said, well, if I do pledge music or crowdfunding, what should I, get money for? And it starts with, it's like chicken or egg first. If you don't have the money, you don't have the vision, you have to sort of think, okay, I want to have a new album, I want to tour, and then break down all the amounts and not let it scare you.
Right. You got a budget for it. Yeah.
So, do you remember what are the rewards we have? There was one that was, you want to scream on our album, and...
Yeah, there were rewards on there that were like screaming on the album or name a song, like whatever you want the song to be named.
Yes, we named a song after someone that pledged.
Oh, really?
So there was the third song, Wlaysewski, is the name of a makeup company, because there's a UK makeup company that paid $1,000 to name the song.
Really?
After their company.
Wow,
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But then,
isn't that weird, right?
Yeah.
So then we had to write a song that would kind of reflect their vision. And they're called, their makeup for your alter ego. Their makeup is not about looking pretty. It's about, like, gothing yourself up and really having, like, interesting, like, designs on your face.
Playing off your imperfections.
Yeah. So it was the right...
Freckles.
Yeah. So we wrote a song that's almost kind of like... feels like it's about coming out of the closet, but it's really just about letting your alter ego shine, kind of. And that's what Wlaysewski is about.
I'll have to listen to that one again with that.
So that song cost $1,000.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah.
We had...
And actually, Tracy's album is Add Your Voice to Modern Burdens, right? Like, so there's... but it's very cheap. It's like $150 to... So 17 people have bought it, so I have to put 17 non-singers on this one song. So they're all going to sing on this bridge part. And I've just started, like, importing in. Like, I have, like, 6 people have sent their vocals so far, and one of them was really good, and some of them were fine, and one
like
person
a
is
singer.
tone deaf on another level that I never... They're singing in the key of X. But the Broadway guy's great. He said like a harmonized 3-part harmony as one track. Like, he's really good. And so...
You're like, we should be paying you to...
Yeah, like, you want to do more?
Yeah.
You want more stuff? So, so we made like $2,000 on just people who want to add their voice to maybe one song.
Nice.
Your audience know how crowdfunding works, right?
And it's Tracy Bonham, and they love her first album. So the idea of being on the new one, which is us re-recording the whole first album again...
Huh.
Oh, okay.
So it's Burdens of Being Upright came out in 1996. And then, so 2016 was the 20th anniversary. So Tracy's doing Modern Burdens, which is taking all those songs and ungrunging them and making them something slightly more modern, and I'm in charge of it.
Nice.
So
that sounds really fun. That's very.
It's really fun.
Really interesting.
At first, like, for her, it's therapy too, because that whole album's about a horrible boyfriend who's dead now. So she's like, it's fine. But it's fine. No, it's fine. But she's like, it's very difficult because these songs are personal to me. So when you send me first mixes of what we're doing with them, I'm like shocked and kind of immediately like no, and then I sit with it and then we like get together and it starts to like make sense. Yeah. So for her, it's a way to step out of the personal nature of what that meant 20 years ago and try to update it.
That's cool.
Like her song Mother Mother is the #1 song. Right. So we wrote a second verse where it's like Trump is trending, the world is ending. Like we changed the lyrics a little bit to be modern burdens, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a fun project.
That's cool.
And we got Sadie Dupois from Sad 13 and Speedy Ortiz on it. Tanya from Belly.
Right.
Kay from Letters to Cleo.
Oh.
Catherine Calder from New Pornographers. Rachel Yamagata. Nicole Atkins, who's a new singer who's really,
I know
really
her.
good.
Yeah,
and Angie Hart from Frente. So, and they've all sent, and she's in like Australia. And she's like a good friend of ours. So they're all sending us vocals for lead tracks. So like 7 of the songs will have different lead vocal females on it. And then the other remaining 5 is Tracy.
Nice.
So we're trying to turn it into like a girl power kind of Trump's in the office. Fuck you. Like, let's bring all these older and younger singers together and say, go fuck yourself.
I'm so interested to hear this.
It's going to be, I just finished Tanya from Belly.
Yeah.
She did Sharks Can't Sleep. It sounds pretty good. I'll play it for you. I have it in my email.
Sweet.
One of the other things you were mentioning was
good. I wanted to
was that here on Golden Time that the cover, which is very good. These are all faces of people who supported.
Oh yeah.
You were saying.
Yeah.
One of them is if you pledge before
July
it was
1st.
July 1st,
Yeah.
2014, you get to have your face on our album. So you are on the cover. So we thought maybe there would be like 5 people, 10 people. There were 113 of them. So I drew all of them.
And you and there is you're very
looks great.
good.
So it looks like they're like spiraling.
My parents are on there. I don't know if you could find them because I'm adopted, but they're on there. And Olive's parents are on there.
How big is the original of this?
This is like how big?
Vinyl sized.
Vinyl size.
Bigger.
It's a little bigger than
Like
vinyl.
double.
So it was 24 by 24.
That's
With a
But
canvas
that's still,
is
if
big.
if listeners at home, if we'll link in the show notes to, you can see an image of this cover, what it looks like. But that's not even that big for this many faces.
Because you're holding a CD and it's small.
Even the big,
Even
like,
2 feet by 2 feet
I'm saying
to
that's
draw
still
them
a
was
lot
still
of
a lot of.
detail.
it's impressive. It's impressive
It
work.
took forever. I started before we went on tour in Europe and finished after we came back.
But a month after we came back.
Wow.
But it spirals from the center. I don't know who the first face was, but
The first phase was our executive producer, Carl Lee. Yeah, the one with glasses in the middle. And
yeah, he really helped us put this album out.
it's
And
like
it spirals out in a golden spiral. So this is the Fibonacci sequence.
That's what that's
Just by accident.
But I think this is just such a great example of like an incentive, like a reward for people. It's like really putting, like, so far everything you guys have described is like all about like putting people in the work, which is just such a
what people
such a good
want.
idea. I'm sure that's when
This one was like more ambitious. This is like an ambitious version of the get your name in the thank you credits.
Yeah.
Which we have inside, I think.
okay.
I think that
Yeah, we do.
the people inside, the pledgers that paid to be in the credits are on the inside as well.
And
I mean,
it's just
people
such
want
a-
to be involved in stuff they like.
Yeah, they want to be able
You
to
know?
like have the album and say
Yeah.
like, look, I'm right here.
so at the release, like people came up and say, "Hey, this is me," and they
Yeah.
brought their friends and family. They're like, "Oh, look, I'm on the album." So that's like
That's
making everybody happy.
What made you think of that? Just you're an artist and you thought it would be an interesting project, or
I always like drawing people, and every time I draw someone, I feel like I'm having a conversation with them. I'm studying their face, looking at the pictures, and as you can see, some of them include the background of like a dinosaur. They're a monkey. It's like props and a cigar, like what they are into and about their lives, and we're truly grateful. I mean, seriously, when we pledge, we would like the artist to know who we are too. It's like back to the same thing. We're treating
These people all put their faith
Other
that this
people
album wasn't
just
going to
like-
suck. You know
like
what
friends.
I mean? Like they said, we believe you.
yeah.
You know? Like, we'll put our face on it. Like, if this is a horrible album, they have their album on a horrible face. They have their face on a horrible album, right? Like, that would be like, you know, I don't think Nickelback could do this. You know, like, have your face on the cover. No, thanks. No, it's
I
good.
don't need people throwing tomatoes at me
Yeah.
when I walk down the street. That's
Aren't
fine.
you on the cover of that Nickelback album? And then man
that happen.
dies on the corner of Bushwick Avenue, and like it's his fault. No, but I'm only fucking around. Nickelback they benefit from low expectations.
I bet they come up a lot in the podcast.
I can never really remember what their specific songs are.
No,
but
I don't think
I've always
anybody can.
I know that I've heard them.
Take Creed and have
Oh,
a
I'm
frat
thinking
boy
of-
write the lyrics.
I think I'm thinking of Creed is what I'm
Because
doing.
Creed is like
He's at least legitimately
Creed
tortured.
was Christian rock.
Yes.
Okay.
Nickelback is like if you take the exact same music and then make it like I'm gonna fuck you in the butt, like just make it really annoyingly like yeah I'm a man, but I married whatever her name is from Canada because they're from Canada too. Nickelback's from Canada, so
Okay.
Canadian Creed. That sound great to you when you hear
the
Canadian
best.
Creed? Are you like where do I sign?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
No.
So that's what it is. It's
No.
Canadian Creed.
I never really got into Creed either.
And he thinks he's like Robert Plant too. Like Scott Kroger, the singer, is like, I don't see why people don't think we're the greatest band. Like he really thinks that they're amazing.
You know,
But
God
you know
bless.
what? You know what? That's what keeps him going.
That's
true.
Good for him.
And there are people who think they're amazing.
Obviously, there are people who buy it.
We think.
There are worse bands.
Oh, I'm sure.
And their albums sell like 13 million copies in the United
Somebody
States.
likes it.
13 million.
Just there's a lot of secret fans.
I think there's a Venn diagram of Trump supporters and Nickelback fans that's just a circle. In any case, I'm just fucking around, guys.
No,
You're speaking truth.
But
to power.
To our podcast listeners.
But even for like very simple pledges, if anyone's thinking about using pledge music, you can just use it as a platform to let people pre-order it. So you're gonna make it, someone's gonna buy it before it's even made. It doesn't have to be that complicated always.
Yeah.
That's part of what I like about it. I mean, I've never used it, but I've seen a lot of musicians use it, and it seems like just a very good, simple platform that's kind of an easier sell in some ways than crowdfunding if you're just doing the pre-buy, because it's so straightforward. It's like, you give me $15, I can put that $15 towards the production costs, and then you get the album that you wanted to buy anyway, and you get to feel like you're a part of it and get whatever added incentives.
It starts at like you said, 15 or 10 for a download, all the way through thousands if you have a great gift.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it is, like, it also feels like the album's being made whether you pledge or not. Mm-hmm. Like with Kickstarter, it kind of feels like if this fails, we're just gonna sit here. Mm-hmm. But with Pledge Music, it almost feels like it's a pre-order. So it's like, oh, it's getting made anyway. Why don't I just jump on that train and like buy some stuff that involves it? It's like you're getting involved in something that's already working. Yeah. And that psychologically feels better than like, help us make our thing, and if we don't reach our goal, then we're back at square one again.
Uh-huh.
People like winners.
Like, yeah, exactly. The artists on Pledge Music make the record whether the pledge works or not. And the pledge always works because it's a percentage.
Right.
So
you can always...
Yeah, so it's a little... It's smart. It's a smart business plan. They're really smart.
Yeah. Did you get our insider golden time joke for film people?
You know what golden time is?
Oh, yeah.
When you reach 16
I didn't think about it. No,
I did not.
That's where it came from. Golden time. Spending way too much time on this or on music.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's bringing the film and music worlds together. It's beautiful.
Well, that's how we met. So.
But just to briefly talk about a different thing. I know, Olive, you're also the host of a video show. Is that right? I
have a YouTube channel called New York Real. It's Real, REAL. So I learned a lot about social media and technical stuff through running a show, because it started off as a video podcast.
Okay.
Like, what you guys are doing. And then now it's more about just come with me. And I'm in New York. Come with me when I travel, and I'm vlogging and taking my audience everywhere for adventures.
Nice. Where have you gone with your audience?
I have interviewed the director of Inferno Affairs in Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and in the UK, in London, interviewed some guests.
Nice.
Woman who was going to Mars. Girl who was going to Mars.
Okay.
She was on a short list of 100 people that were going to be chosen in the running for being flown to Mars.
Okay. That's very cool.
That's awesome.
You don't get back, though. You don't come back.
They just,
That's true.
Oh, it's a colonized.
How do you refuel? You're done. Once you're there, it's interstellar. You make a colony, or just
or just go like
space trash forever. It's a vacuum. But that's awesome, though. I mean, it's such an interesting choice. Like, I'm going to go and never come back, but I will have gone and helped collect samples and put them in this machine till I starve to death. Or make potato poop, like Matt Damon in The Martian. The poop potatoes. He survived on potatoes.
He did.
I didn't see The Martian, but now I know something.
It's actually it's quite good.
It's not bad.
I've heard good things about it. I know our guests have limited time.
Yeah, so should we move on to playing a game? You guys want?
There's another game. Yay!
We love games.
So this is, I didn't mention it, but this is our 25th episode. So that's very exciting.
Gosh.
Happy birthday to us.
Yay! This is our 25th episode. So our trivia for this episode is all based around the number 25.
Oh, I thought it was going to be about previous episodes of the podcast, which would be a real...
No, then I would have to remember
we
stuff.
We have to prepare.
So based around the number 25, again, we've got the postcards from Chris Cafaro that for every question you get correct, you can take a postcard. So first question in our 25 trivia: which Star Trek film was released on the franchise's 25th anniversary? Was it Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, Star Trek Return of the Jedi, Star Trek IX, From Kronos with Love, or Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country?
Oh, you have a poker face. It's hard to get from watching you talk. C?
She says C, Star Trek IX, From Kronos with Love. What do you think?
I think number the first option.
The Star Trek III, The Search for Spock?
Yeah.
What do you
Undiscovered
think?
Country.
Yeah. And John says Undiscovered Country, and he's correct.
I thought that might be the case, but
Is that the one where they go to the end of the universe?
And Find God? No, that's the one. This one right after it. That's the one.
man,
That's
a
the one.
lot happens in Star Trek.
They do like crazy. It's like Doctor Who, but like American.
But they, but they kind of try to be a little bit more grounded sometimes.
Star Trek keeps coming up in my life over the past
Well,
week.
you were a business partner with me, and Star Trek was kind of my only friend when I was a kid. So,
I just figured out Star Trek is different from Star Wars.
I know.
it's okay. That's why I put that. That's why I put Return of the Jedi.
The new trailer
in there.
just came out just like an hour ago.
I haven't watched
Last
it yet.
Jedi?
I'm very
Very
Yeah.
Oh
excited.
shit, I missed it.
And so
Okay.
what's
Did
his
you
name?
take a
The director of
postcard?
Looper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ryan Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. And the Ozymandias episode of Breaking Bad, which is my favorite of the last season.
Yeah, that was
So good.
it's very, very, very good.
So our second 25 themed question is 25 is the atomic number for which element?
Oh shit.
A,
damn it,
hydrox, B, manganese, C, fire, D, whiskey.
I want whiskey now.
A.
Is A hydrox?
B.
B, manganese?
Yeah, I'm going with B.
B, and you are both correct. It is manganese.
Yay!
That was my way of making it slightly easier. Is that
That none
is
of them
that's
are
the, that's
elements.
the only one that's
Yeah,
an element.
that's why, yeah.
Hydrox is the Oreo knockoff cookie,
I
I love Hydrox.
yeah.
They don't have a double stuff though.
but it sounds like it's an element. That's why
Doesn't
I
it?
picked.
I got when you said that I got so confused, and because maybe of my own self-esteem issues, I then doubted myself, and I'm like, is that an element?
It's like hydrogen
It's an
and
element in my
Clorox
heart.
put together, right?
Yeah, I'm
It
like,
sounds like it, right?
like is
or
that the
hydrogen.
real science name for hydrogen? The
There
real
was-
science.
There was a quiz I took the other day that was doom metal band or medication. So it was like
Lamisil.
Ambianus or Lavicil. Yeah, exactly.
We are Lamisil.
We are Vagisil. Yeah. Vagisil's good if it was like a female doom metal band. We are Vagisil.
So, last one. According to the song, in the year 2525 by Zager and Evans, this is a 60s song that I heard a lot. I can't sing.
25.
Yeah, in the year
I just made
2525.
that up. I don't know
Here's
it.
some of-
I don't know it. That's just how.
That's
all
what
you
it
can
sounds
sing.
like.
That's literally all that would happen.
So
In the
it's
25.
one of those weird like 60s like, man, like what's gonna happen in the future? We're all
They're
gonna be
flying
like
cars.
eating pills and that's like our and stuff like that.
So it'll
But
be like their lives
here-
right then.
So here is how it goes, and so this will be extra fun because I'm the only person in the room that knows the song. So according to the song, in the year 2525 by Zager and Evans, and these are actual lyrics from the song. If man is still alive, if woman can survive.
Oh God, I hate.
I
this
know,
song
right?
already.
It's terrible.
Wait, if man is still alive, if woman can survive, this
Yeah.
is fucked
The
up.
60s.
It's like
Fucked up. The 60s were messed up.
wow.
But
It's
It's like
so
children of men.
if man is still alive, if woman can survive, what may they find? A dog.
That's so anticlimactic.
B, like peace and love and happiness, man.
Oh please no.
C, nuclear-powered zombies. Or D, they never say what man and woman may find in 2525. They just start talking about other years like assholes.
Huh?
I'm voting for D.
D? So Nicole says she thinks that it's D. They never say what man and woman may find in 2525. They just start talking about other years like assholes. What do you
That sounds like a very long answer.
It is a little bit. It's a little bit lengthy.
But it could be true.
It could be
Because
true.
you needed to explain.
I really wish it was. I
complicated
really
song,
wish. I really
multi-layered.
wish it was nuclear zombies, but I feel like it's like a. You said 60s.
Yeah, it's a 60s
Yeah, they
song.
weren't really into nuclear zombies at that point. If it was the 70s, I'd be like maybe.
Maybe.
So I'm gonna go with D.
You're gonna go with D.
Yeah.
And what do you think?
I'm gonna go with a dog.
You're gonna go with the dog?
That would. Be,
I hope it's a dog.
I hope it's a dog.
It's the last one. They just never say what they meant.
Yeah.
No, the song goes, in the year 2525, if man is still alive, if woman can survive, they may find. And then they say, in the year 3535.
Oh my God.
They never finish the sentence.
Just like,
and it's so frustrating.
no more monkeys jumping on the bed.
And then they don't even stick with the. It goes like 25, 25, 35, 35, 45, 45, 55, 55, 65, 65, 75, 75, 85, 10.
Oh, I want to kill them.
95, 10. It's a terrible song.
Fuck them.
But
Are
it
you
has
gonna
two
play the
25
song
cent.
on the show?
No. I think people should go and find it.
Or not.
No, they should Google it.
I have a comment on nuclear zombies, though.
Yeah.
Which is that I learned on social media that at Coney Island now, they've got a new virtual reality ride, and I'm a big fan of virtual reality rides. And it's
wearing
like a zombie
cyclone shirt.
Yeah, I am, actually.
Is it like 4D or like glasses?
7D.
Oh, shit.
Whatever the fuck that
Smell
means.
of
Is
vision.
it open?
I just
Taste
saw it on
of vision.
Twitter. It's right by the Wonder Wheel. I follow a lot of Coney Island Twitter accounts.
So
'cause
5
they keep me-
senses?
Yeah.
And then what are the other 2? 6 sense?
Magic.
Death?
ESP and
They used to
no
have
spin zone.
a VR ride there that I loved. This
It's like
VR
7D
roller
is the
coaster.
no spin zone.
But it says do real roller
It's getting
coasters,
warm,
so
so
I like
it's
the
the time to go.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. So that's another tip.
Go see that.
Meet
thing.
zombies with taste of vision.
But
Yeah,
you know,
Like this
taste
brain.
the brain.
Yeah, exactly.
before we wrap up, they
Very coppery.
these lovely people brought us some
Music.
wonderful
That you can
merch
hold.
of theirs that they were talking about. I'm gonna keep this one. right
Yeah,
here.
I kept one. I
and
took
Nicole
a shirt
kept
too.
one, and so I have four. I have 4 CDs of Golden Time. I think we should, like, not all of them right now, but maybe if people were to leave a comment on the
Why don't we plan
On
a
the
contest,
iTunes.
and when this episode comes out, we can
Re-record
explain-
it?
We can do a little.
But I was gonna make it up off the top of my head.
Because maybe it could be like a quiz question.
These are very cool.
that they couldn't just Wikipedia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would have to
Yeah.
be a
That's
deep
something
cut.
from the episode. We'll
or
do that.
maybe
Oh,
it's a
that's
thing of
interesting.
like they could post something with a hashtag, like when we've done other contests on the social
That's true.
media.
So look for that.
We'll
Look
have
for
a
that.
contest.
So look
We'll
for
talk
that.
about
Go
it.
look for that.
We got four late
We'll have
Cambrian
coffee.
albums.
We'll contest.
We got
we need a new
we got-
hashtag for whenever conversation turn into being about films. Because it happened like
Yeah, it's like a
nonstop.
habit. It's a
Yeah.
bad
Gravitational
habit of
pull
ours.
of film. Like we
Yeah.
need to make like a contraction. The
Yeah.
Gravitational pull of film.
too long.
GPOF. GPOF.
G-Poff.
GPOF.
G-Puff.
The G-Puff. Okay, so we'll give some stuff away. These shirts are great too. This
Yeah,
tiger thing.
I'm keeping the
Laser
shirts.
tigers.
Laser tigers. Are,
Laser tigers. So
These shirts have the tigers have laser beams.
So,
coming out of
so we
their
got some
eyes.
stuff to
Pretty
give
cool.
away, and that'll be cool.
Yeah.
So that was our celebration of 25 episodes with the lovely people of Lake Cambrian. Where can people find you guys online again?
LateCambrian.com. And then all social media after that. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm joking.
Oh,
You're obviously not.
platform.
Oh, no.
Hello.
Swarm, dig, stumbled upon.
Stop.
No, none of those. Facebook, Twitter,
LinkedIn.
Instagram,
You guys mentioned Friendster in your
LinkedIn.
bio.
Oh my God.
Friendster. I remember
Yeah.
being on Friendster and
Me
being
too.
like, "What the hell is this?"
MySpace.
MySpace.
Yeah.
Way back.
That
I
was a
think my
big
MySpace
fail.
still exists.
That was a big fail for Justin Timberlake.
I know.
He
got
bought
in at the
MySpace
wrong
and
time.
tried to like redo it, and it looked better, but it still was like, but no.
But it's still there.
It's still
Nobody's
there.
using
There's like big, huge photos now and stuff going on. Yeah.
For a minute, they were paying writers, so I knew a bunch of people who were writing for MySpace because they'd actually pay you to write, which is this weird idea that sometimes people mess around with. What a bad idea, paying writers. Pfft.
It
Anyways.
is a terrible idea. And where can people see your YouTube show? New York Reel?
It's called New York Real. And I am Pineapple O at Pineapple O on all social medias.
Nice. Fantastic.
And we're 4 Mile Circus. It's the number 4 followed by Mile Circus. And you can find us at 4milescircus.com and Twitter and Instagram and
Facebook.
It's all 4 Mile Circus.
LinkedIn.
Nicole really wants to be your friend on Facebook, and we'll talk to you next time.
I don't make friends.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you,
Thanks
Nicole.
for joining us.
It's been fun. 25.
Woo!
If you like what you heard, please subscribe to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, or your platform of choice. Please visit us at 4milescircus.com to learn about our other projects and services, and be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at 4 Mile Circus.